Good afternoon, everyone. This Lunch and Learn session is thanks to Microsoft. The workplace is evolving and so are the tools that power it. At the heart of this transformation is a shared goal to create more meaningful connections, stronger collaboration, and make smarter use of every space. And that's where AI-driven innovation comes in. For this forward-looking tech talk exploring how AI is reshaping the modern workplace, please welcome Andrew Higgs and Mehryn Corrigan from Microsoft.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see everyone here today, chowing down on your delicious lunch, and please enjoy. This is going to be a fantastic session for us. It's always a pleasure to get in front of you all today. I'm hoping that you can see the slides. We'll try and not cover them too much as we break into the session. But by random introduction, my name is Andrew Higgs. Some of you might know me as Higgsy. I am the AI-powered workplace lead for the teams for the business at Microsoft. I look after the Asia region, and I'm the absolute pleasure to share the stage with my esteemed colleague, Mehryn Corrigan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mehryn. I come all the way from Florida. So I love to be at this part of the world. This is my second time at Integrate. I'm on the same team here as Higgsy. Learned a lot and met a lot of you over the last couple of days. Both Higgsy and I have recently gone through a bit of a career change, actually. So the title that you see there, AI-powered workplace, is a new term at Microsoft. And so we have the distinct honor of representing this sales play at Microsoft globally. And this is honestly just new as of July. So we're excited to kind of walk you through what that means today. But essentially, both of our roles are sitting within Microsoft's engineering team. The team that runs Teams team, it's always fun to say that, basically engineering. So we now are a part of the engineering organization, and they brought us in to essentially support the partner motion. If you're a partner in the room that has customers and you built a business around supporting Microsoft, that's where we focus. We want to help you build your business, help you be capable and adaptable, and help you learn all the things that you want to learn. And we keep that ever challenging, right?
Absolutely.
It's not so easy to keep up with all the innovation that Microsoft brings day in, day out. All it takes, though, is a little bit of passion and excitement and a little bit of fun. There's so much cool stuff to talk about. So we've captured it all for you today, and we'll walk you through everything that we want to share for the year ahead.
Yeah, there's lots of things to cover today. Everything from what is the AI-powered workplace and helping navigate that conversation. For those that have obviously had sessions with Mehryn and myself previously, yesterday and today, there is some overlapping content, but sometimes it's nice to hear things twice for it to actually sink in, right? So please definitely just chow away, enjoy your food, and towards the end, we'll go through some technical roadmap, because you can't have a tech talk without talking about tech. So we'll jump right in.
All right. I'm a numbers geek. I hope there's a couple of you in the room that are. I used to be a salesperson. I always want to come with numbers in your pocket when you're talking about things. So if you're into that, this would be a good one. I'll try to move out of your way if you want to take a picture. But essentially, when we talk about the workplace, what is that? That's basically what all the physical space that all the companies that we support is actually the number 2 cost on a balance sheet. First, it's the people, and then it's the infrastructure that you're sort of working in. Flexible work and how we work is ever evolving. We had a pretty big change in how we work about 4 or 5 years ago. And the dust, you would think, is kind of settling in, but there's some problems with sort of this return to work. If you have an office, if you're going in, how many days a week am I going in? What does it look like when I do go in? It's the biggest challenge that people have today is, hey, we think we're back to normal, but are we happy with normal? Is this really what we want going forward? So you see up here is some of the examples of what people are sort of frustrated by. Not knowing when to come into the office is a big one. We see a lot of people with the 3 days a week, maybe 2 days a week that they go into the office. But hey, I go in there and none of my friends are there. It's an empty office. What is this? Why am I here?
Yeah.
So really that's problem number 1. Number 2 is when I go there, I want it to be productive. I want it to be, giving me the day that I deserve when I get there. I want to feel more productive in the office than maybe I do at home. So I want the tools at my fingertips that make me feel confident in doing my job. And really the office space, and this is kind of interesting. I come from a global role, but there's a lot happening in real estate of justification or how is this going to look going forward. People might have lease agreements coming up in the next couple years. And so we're really looking hard at the balance sheet and analyzing, is this worth it? What's the ROI? Am I utilizing the space? Do I need 2 floors instead of 3 floors? Let me look at that. So major focus on utilization and giving me some stats on how I can make better decisions going forward.
This wouldn't be a Microsoft presentation if we didn't mention AI. So for those playing at home, you can count how many times we say Copilot. But look, this is ultimately going to influence the way, and it's currently influencing the way that we do work. Currently today, Copilot adoption is doing really well in region. We're actually, from a Teams Rooms point of view, which is even more cool, excited to say that we're the highest penetrated market of Teams Rooms devices than anywhere else in the world. So, Australia and New Zealand are just really kicking butt. We're kicking butt when it comes to Teams Rooms. So thank you to the partners in the room that are obviously helping drive that business for us. From an AI point of view, it's really helping us, change the way that we interact with our applications. AI is now bleeding its way across many different use cases. I'm now using AI more than ever, not just typing to it. I'm talking to it now. I'll throw it on and ask it to explain something to me as a podcast whilst I'm driving my car. It's a great way for you to learn, to think differently, and really try and even get down to inbox zero. I still have 13,438 emails that I haven't read, but one day I will get there, and AI is going to help me. Where we work is really the area in which Mehryn and I like to play in, and this is where you're going to start to see things like Microsoft Places combined with obviously Teams Rooms and Copilot really shape that AI-powered workplace strategy and story, and we'll break into that a little bit more today. And it's not something that can be ignored as we look at the broader landscape. As if you're a partner, we obviously want to build out a stronger services arm for you, so that you can obviously extend beyond just Teams Rooms. What does that broader workspace look like, and what is the opportunity there for you as a customer? Giving you the right tools and insights to be able to ascertain how my space is being utilized inside the office. Bookable spaces, and giving employees the ability to, as Mehryn mentioned, to give them insights as to when their peers and colleagues are coming into the office as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as well.
All right. So intelligent work spaces, workplace, workspace. We'll take 2 of them hand in hand.
Exactly.
So we really, there's 2 sort of personas that we want to cater to. It's the employees, and then it's really the IT and facilities decision makers that are in the kind of that we're catering to. And when we think about the employee, this is a lot of our backbone. We've spent a lot of the past 5 years in the Teams Room space about how do we create more engaging conversations. Gone are the days of staring at a black box in the middle of a table and wondering what the far end looks like. And gone are the days of the bowling alley style, video where I can barely see the person at the end of the room. So we've made that easier. We've also made the connecting of actually walking into a space. If you remember the days of 10 to 12 minutes average start to actually get a meeting going, like those days are gone. We simplified it. It's a one-touch join. Great. But now it's about really eliminating a lot of the friction and doing a better job on creating a connection for that employee. There's so much that you can sort of interpret through a conversation, through somebody's facial gestures, but also through their tone. And I find myself actually apologizing for not being on video these days. And it's really, I just absolutely love that in-person connection. To be in a industry that's so great at video, I think we're at a really cool place right now. So around the employees, it's around making sure that they have everything that they need. And the way that we've been working is actually changing pretty dramatically. I think there's some stats around the number of meetings that we all have on a daily basis. It's literally impossible for us to go to all of them. Many of us are catching up with those after the fact, catching the recap later. We are working more in ad hoc. We're not doing as many recurring meetings, so we might do more of these water cooler moments, which I think is great, where people are finding their meetings to be more productive too than when they were in the past. So I myself might have had a one-on-one with Higgsy every single week, but we know how to catch each other on the fly, so we don't need that recurring meeting as much. So seamlessly being able to give people these touchdown experiences where they need it, when they need it, is ever evolving, but it's been fun to sort of see those places evolve. And real estate and facilities, it's all about the data. It's also simplifying and making sure that problems are resolved before they happen. Hate those hair on fire moments when you walk into the office and all these rooms are broken and I got to run around and fix them. It'd be great if through an overnight update, all that stuff fixed itself before you even came in the door. So helping you to save time and resources by constantly making our products better is certainly a way to be more intelligent.
Absolutely. The cool thing about being part of this engineering team that we're in now is that we start to get to play with other products and really understand what that broader opportunity looks like. Where we see the role of the AI-powered workplace really taking place now is around this, around the actual, we call it Microsoft Places, but it bleeds into everything around the devices, where you're sending, where you're actually doing your work in tasks, notes, Copilot, meetings, chats, messages. Fundamentally, this is all driven into a workspace, whether it be you're working from home or you're in the office. So having the insights and the tools and the ability to work across this, it's the underlying fabric that goes on behind the scenes. You're using Copilot, or if you use Places, it's not just one application you're using. You're writing an email, Copilot's there. You're doing you're in Microsoft Teams, Copilot's in there as well. You want to book a space, Microsoft Places is available in Outlook for you to be able to book that space. There's also obviously applications as well that support this, but there's what we're highlighting here is that it's something that blends across the different applications that you use on a day-to-day basis. And so what we'll do is we'll break this down across the three pillars. Now, we've got these logos on the screen on purpose, Mehryn. What are these logos that we're talking about here?
All right. Well, hopefully you're familiar with the one on the left. That is the lovely Copilot. And Copilot, as Higgsy said, is sort of embedded in everything that we do. And Copilot is your personal assistant. Raise your hand if you've got Copilot as a personal assistant. Lovely. Okay. So M365 Copilot. Raise your hand if you've got it on your phone. All right, wonderful. So M365 Copilot is embedded in your 365 apps. So it's in Outlook, as Higgsy said, your PowerPoint, your Excel. It's in Teams and it's in Places. And this is your personal assistant that you can use to ask, what's happened in that meeting on East Coast time, US, that I missed last night. I didn't wake up for it. What are my action items for that? And hey, can you help me in these follow-up actions? Actually, we had a PAC meeting. There's a lot of you in this room. Help me summarize all of the notes for that and put it in a recap form that I can send to my management to tell them how amazing my trip to Australia was. So Copilot is hopefully the tool that you're very, very familiar with at this point. And it's kind of the underpinning of every application, every single sales play at Microsoft, which is why we have to say it a million times in every presentation. And then you've got the Teams team, which is part of what we do all day, every day.
The product that you know and love and use today, and obviously pushing out there with obviously Microsoft Teams rooms as well.
And then the one on the right is Microsoft Places. So that one is probably new to you, the little icon to the right. So those three are sort of the center point of the AI-powered workplace.
So we'll break these down. We'll take you through just how the three pillars of the AI-powered workplace and what they all mean. Starting off with coordinate productivity. This is really all about Microsoft Places. This is the role that Places plays inside of an organization, about streamlining space bookings for employees and coordinating between colleagues across the office, whether it's physical or digital. This is one of the coolest applications that, admittingly, yes, we are slow to launch. There are other products that are in the ecosystem that probably do it better today. But this is an opportunity for Microsoft now to obviously build in better capabilities. It is a slow evolution. We're also working on obviously bringing third-party integration and into Microsoft Places, as well as also bringing new features to market faster and better. So much so that we actually launched just yesterday our new admin experience for Microsoft Places, making it easier for the integrators to be able to build floor plans and building data into Places to start mapping desk bookings scenarios and so on. This is really where Microsoft Places really excels. The thing I love probably most about about Microsoft Places is the actual analytics and insights. But before I dive into that, Mehryn, what's your favorite feature of Microsoft Places?
I like bookable desks, honestly. I've been doing the room space for a very long time, and I love to throw out the stats of the number of meeting rooms globally. It's close to 100 million. The amount of desks across the globe is far greater than that. We're talking about hundreds of millions. Desk reservation for me is actually knowing that I've got a reliable place to touch down when I go to the office, and I think that's been a frustration for a lot of people in the past is, hey, we don't have assigned desks anymore, but if I come in, I want to be at a place that I know is going to work for me. And giving me a suggestion on where to go, if I know you're in the office, putting me in a place that's right next to you would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite.
For me, it's probably the analytics and insights, because one of the things that many customers want to understand more on is where are people actually working? Is it in the meeting space? Is it in these bookable spaces? Or where is based on occupancy data that's being fed into Places? Where is the foot traffic? What's going on? Mehryn used an example earlier in another session about the real estate data, the information that facilities provide to management to understand where is all that foot traffic, the most popular workspaces. And in actual fact, the data that they shared was only using insights based on sensors of where there is movement, not actual people going into meeting rooms and so forth. It was just using the sensor in the ceiling that was just going, oh yeah, there was movement, as this light came on and so forth. We are able to get to a lot more detailed using different occupancy sensors from our OEM partners, plus also using Teams rooms cameras as well, be able to identify when people walk into a room. The future of that we'll talk about in just a moment around some of the cool capabilities that we're going to be doing with Teams rooms. But this all feeds back into the analytics and insights. This is you think about your carbon footprint and the way that you can optimize air conditioning and power usage and so forth. You can use these insights and go, hey, hang on a second, we've only been using like buildings, our floors 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 6 don't get used on Wednesday and Thursday. How about we save money and power down the air conditioning on those floors because they're not needed that day. So there's some really great, powerful insights and analytics you can get from this. If you're thinking about wanting to get better understanding of how your spaces and what spaces are available inside your workplace, the desk reservation and signals feed into the management portal. The way that this works is if you walk into the office, anytime that a device is plugged in via USB-C more than 5 times, that data is then shared with the Teams Rooms Pro Management Portal and Microsoft Places in order for you to be able to build out your spaces, not having to manually import information. So it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to gain insights as to how these spaces are being leveraged and what spaces are actually being used. So rather than importing all that data manually, just by turning these features on, walking into that meeting room, it's got to maybe it might have a BYOD device, plug in, unplug, walk away, another 4 people come in, plug in, unplug. That data is then surfaced, and because they booked that room in Outlook, that means that room plus those peripherals can then be used and managed inside of Teams Rooms Pro Management and also Places as well. So lots of cool things that we can do around that. Modernize intelligently. This is really where a lot of you have probably been living for quite some time with Teams Rooms. This is the core to many of our meeting room partners that have specialized in obviously the meeting space. This is fundamentally about getting Teams Rooms devices, that native Teams Room experience. Mehryn mentioned it before, seamlessly walking in, pressing a join button, and your Teams meeting just starts. This is all about getting AI into the forefront of the meeting space. It's a complementary solution to that of Microsoft Places, but it's also a complementary solution, and there's no better together story than obviously Copilot and Teams Rooms. Copilot is not successful when you don't have Teams Rooms devices. So if the customer's thinking about Copilot, you need to have a Teams Rooms device in there. Why? Well, you need to be able to identify who's speaking in the room. And to be able to identify who's speaking in a room, only a Teams Rooms device can give you that data. So it's a better together story, and it's definitely something that we see as like a superpower for those looking to deploy Teams Rooms.
I was going to let's go back once here. We always forget. How many people know what this is? Over here on the bottom right. Signature room, remember that? Or the layout that we've got here. So what we have on the front here was something that we introduced about 2 years ago, and we don't talk about it enough anymore, but that was relatively using AI to put it on a wider screen, 21:9, giving people that eye-to-eye level. And basically it was using spatial audio. This was us 2 years ago, putting spatial audio so that if you see somebody on the left hand of the screen, that's where the audio is coming from. You see them on the right hand of the screen, that's where the audio is coming from. So little nuanced pieces of technology that are taking out the brain tax of sort of those meeting by meeting and the drudgery, like those things simplify sort of the friction in your mind. And we're doing that behind the scenes. So I just always forget to kind of mention front row when we talk about AI technology, but that was sort of just the beginning. And we're seamlessly blending the background of black so that you don't have to think about, well, where is Higgsy today?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because that was the beginning of some really amazing innovation around Teams Rooms.
We obviously, I mentioned this before, just that better together story with Teams Rooms and Copilot. The power of identifying you is such an important piece of you having identity in a meeting, having an inclusive meeting. The way that this works is when you walk into a room and anytime that you talk, rather than the meeting not knowing who said what, the idea here is that you enroll your voice. And this is only done once, and you enroll your voice from your Teams client on the desktop. So once you've enrolled your voice, it takes about 30 seconds. You just say some words. Every meeting that you have inside of a Teams room, whenever transcription is turned on or recording, the room has the ability to identify your voice. So rather than conference room B said this and conference room B said that and someone else said something and someone else said something, it's all conference room B. So there's no way to know who actually said what. You can't track the conversation. However, just by simply enrolling your voice, walking into that room and starting a meeting, anytime that you talk, you will say, yeah, Andrew Higgs said this, and Mehryn Corrigan, whenever she talks, it will say that she spoke in the room, rather than conference room B. So this is using AI. We're doing this at the cloud, available in both Teams Rooms on Windows, Teams Rooms on Android, making it easier so that whenever you're using things like Copilot or simply just having transcription turned on, that the room is able to identify you by your voice.
I just want to say with all the investments in Copilot, a lot of you raised your hand that you do have Copilot. When we don't have rooms that are capable of doing attribution, like a lot of the value of everything that your company put into Copilot starts to fall apart. Like we love that intelligent recap, but if I can't identify and give action items to people, I sort of lose some of that value. So that's where the Copilot really needs to be tied into the story when you think about rooms. It's all the intelligence at the edge needs to be capable of pulling that in.
We take it a step further with cameras, and as when people think about AI meeting rooms, they first think about cameras. They think about cameras and maybe the audio second, and what we can do with cameras to be able to drive that inclusivity. With Teams Rooms, we do that a number of ways. With obviously IntelliFrame and intelligent cameras, we're able to use facial recognition. So similar to how you enrolled your voice through the Teams client, under the recognition option in your options in your Teams client, you also have facial recognition as well. Yeah, it's kind of like setting up Windows Hello. You stare at the camera, you move your head around and so forth, so that next time that you're in a room that has an intelligent camera attached to the Teams Rooms device, it's able to identify you via your face. You don't have to say anything. The camera will be able to identify you, and in the video, in the roster, you'll see the conference room, and then your name will appear underneath the roster as well. With intelligent cameras, we'll also be able to provide the ability to give you a name tag. So if you remember, like during COVID, we all were working from home. Everyone had their own individual video tile, had their own name tag attached to it. That was super awesome. Come back into the office now, and you go into a meeting room, and it's conference room B, has the camera feed, and you can't identify anyone in the room. So the idea behind this is being able to use facial recognition, giving you a name tag attached to your video tile, and we separate the video, as you can see there on the right-hand side, for those that are inside the room as well. We're taking it a step further and bringing IntelliFrame to the cloud. So the dynamic framing is what IntelliFrame is. The framing of the individuals. We want to make sure that every seat at the table, no matter where you're sitting, you have the best seat in the room. Sorry, there's no more hiding in the back of the room behind someone anymore. We've now also got support for multi-camera solutions. So allowing those that are sitting in the room, always showing the best front-on view of that person's face. You've seen many of our OEM partners have center of room cameras, or cameras that are mounted on the walls and so forth, that are cost effective, that give the best view for the remote attendees. So no more hiding in meeting rooms anymore, as well as also automatic camera switching as well. So when you've got those multiple cameras, if I move out of the shot, or hide behind somewhere, and a different camera is going to switch over automatically and show my face, so I can always be seen.
I think the other element that's kind of cool here is we forget about the laptop camera that's sitting right in front of us. There's so many active cameras potentially that you could leverage within a space. So this actually also takes your camera. If you're sitting there with your laptop, the room's already on and connected, there is still a reason for you to maybe connect within the meeting yourself personally, because maybe it's a better view of you and you can choose to use the camera from your laptop as well. So it knows that you've turned your laptop on and connected that way, and it chooses that camera view of you instead of the one from the front of the room, which is cool.
Absolutely. You'll see that in action right here. As you see in the top right-hand corner, she moves out of the shot, and then all of a sudden you can see the front-on view, which is using her laptop as the camera in that meeting space. All right, the last pillar that we're going to talk about is the AI-powered workplace is the optimize proactively. So this is giving you a management layer across your ecosystem. I apologize for turning my back on you. So this is all about the Places admin portal and the Pro Management portal for meeting rooms and so on. You would have seen, if those that are managing meeting rooms today, that Teams Admin Center has primarily been a lot of where we've been doing a lot of our rooms management. Teams rooms on Android is still currently in Teams Admin Center today. That's going to be moving over to the Pro Management portal soon. We've just moved over Teams rooms on Windows out of Teams Admin Center and solely managed in the Pro Management portal. We want the Pro Management portal to be that single pane of glass for you, complementary to that of obviously the OEM's management portal, whether it be Crestron's XO Cloud or Logitech Sync, PolyLens. There's a number of other third-party solutions that will complement obviously Pro Management portal that give you that more device-specific configuration. Pro Management portal is obviously what we use for Teams rooms in the application layer, but again, you need to configure the Logitech camera settings for the framing or something like that that is specific to that device, or configure noise block on a Poly solution. Then that's where you need to use their cloud service to be able to configure that. So shared space analytics, again, we spoke about this before. We only just launched our new admin experience yesterday, and we're getting more and more reporting and analytics to becoming available that we're putting inside a Pro Management portal for Teams rooms, plus also the Places Management portal as well, which are going to help many organizations get a better handle on their usage and utilization for rooms, desk pools, as well as also building data as well as also the Teams Rooms Pro Management portal, those shared spaces as well. You manage 500 rooms, how are they being leveraged? Are they being used for Teams meetings or just in-person meetings? What is the appetite for, obviously, the individuals in that business? Where is the hotspot? What time of day are they being leveraged? Do we need more Teams rooms employed in those spaces to have more productive meetings, or what is the demand for those types of behaviors? All right. So the last one I want to call out as well, beyond AI-powered workplace, is Express installs. So Express installs is a really cool capability that we've recently announced. It was at ISC earlier this year. We've been working with our OEM partners to build this solution. It is a new archetype, similar to like Mehryn mentioned around signature rooms. We've got these express install rooms as well, these express spaces. And the concept here is that it's easy, it's quick and easy to deploy, and easy to manage. It's kind of like Lego. You're like buying a Lego kit. You know, you're looking at a medium or large scale room. Your BOM is going to be quite long with all the different moving parts with DSPs and different microphone arrays and different camera solutions that might be working with different panels and cabling, professional services. The goal for Express install rooms is a single line item, a single SKU that you can purchase through your partners and distributors. To be able to get Teams Rooms devices into the hands of the customers quicker and easier. We've done a couple of speed runs at deploying these room devices from box to table and installed. Internally, we're getting around about 15 to 20 minutes, and that's pretty good for this kind of hardware. So again, you think about what this actually means for customers. They can start using Teams Rooms devices quicker and easier. And for partners that are looking to, obviously, as more and more customers want those smaller and huddle spaces and so forth, we can video enable those spaces. And the barrier of growth or the ability to take off and get Teams Rooms being adopted, that is a lot easier now. And those with our partner ecosystem can spend more time on those medium and large scale rooms. You know, we've all got large targets as a partner with the same number. Our targets are even bigger this year with the same, if not less, amount of staff. So Express installs makes it a lot easier for that.
I want to tell a quick story because we have a really nice video that helps to explain Express install, but this solution was based on Microsoft as customer zero. This kind of came as a result of some pain that we were going through. And some of those pain points were we need to get Copilot accessible in a lot more meeting rooms than we currently had today. All of our Microsoft user base is tasked with being experts on Copilot and then telling all of our wonderful customers about it. If we can't use that ourselves in meeting rooms, well, that's a problem. So we had to get Copilot capable in many, many rooms fast. But we, like everybody else, doesn't have an unlimited amount of budget. And some of the budget required to go and do those is pretty massive. So we had a challenge from our finance lead to say, hey, find out how to do this cheaper, easier, flexible, more quickly. But that was also a challenge because we have a lot of leased space. So we can't necessarily drill into walls. We might be moving out in 2 years potentially. So it needs to be flexible. So I think this next video will give you a nice view into how we solved that problem.
Absolutely. So we'll bring up the video now and enjoy.
The Hive team defines Microsoft's workplace and meeting room technology standards. So we are the first team that deploys Microsoft solutions to our workplace in the real world. At Microsoft, we have a global portfolio. Some spaces are rented spaces, and you don't want to go in and start opening walls and running cables through different conduits. So when we think about Express install designs, we've really taken into consideration quick and easy deployments that are minimizing the infrastructure impact of a space.
An Express Teams install is a simplified, consistent meeting room experience that leverages Microsoft first-party products like Autopilot to create a seamless experience.
Express install allows us to deploy a lot more rooms within the same budget envelope. We're seeing average savings between 30 to 45% across our full room portfolio, not only in terms of the overall cost of the rooms, but the time to install. Our deployment times are cut in half. We're seeing in some of our small focus rooms, we're able to build these rooms in just over an hour. And that's a significant saving for Microsoft, and that we can get more rooms done and more rooms upgraded within the same period of time.
We're getting the same one-touch join experience, the same Teams features and capabilities.
We piloted it across 80 rooms about 2 years ago. We identified some bring your own device rooms, BYOD. We put in our express install solution. And what we found with those rooms was they went from rooms that were barely used to being fully booked.
This is an opportunity for companies to replace outdated systems and upgrade to AI capabilities like intelligent voice and facial recognition.
The feedback we got from our users was extremely positive. They liked the ability to just go in and the team solution was active. They could just one touch join the meeting and they were off and running.
So you got to see there that there's a few components that come into play here. You had the screen, you had the Teams Rooms device, plus also the mounting hardware as well. And if you get the chance, have a look at the OEM booths. We've got express installs on many of the booths. I believe we've got Jabbra's got one, Max Hub have one on display, and I believe Logitech also have one. Go and have a look and have a chat to the team down at the booth to see their express install. And it's a fantastic opportunity for you to be able to break into your customers and getting them either replacing, like they said in the video, replacing existing hardware or getting more devices into those smaller meeting spaces.
Let's get to the fun stuff.
This is the fun stuff. I know we've all been waiting patiently for this. All right, so let's talk roadmap. All right, first one, AI assistant in the Pro Management Portal. This one's really cool. So the Pro Management Portal, if you're familiar with it, is that, again, that single pane of glass that we're building capabilities for. What we're seeing now is that we've got this AI assistant that is now available. That's designed there to give you insights and also assist you with any rooms that might be having some problems. It can identify patterns across multiple meeting spaces, a group of devices in a location that might have some challenges, give you proactive guidance on how to actually resolve for those, as well as also allowing you to interact with it. If you're unsure about anything that's going on inside of the Pro Management Portal, you can ask it and say, hey, what's the deal with this room? Or, where can I find more information about setting up resource accounts? Or, there's a lot of things that it can do. It can go out to the internet, get data from search up in the public space, and then bring that information back. But also, give you proactive guidance again for things like setting up new spaces as well, giving you step-by-step guides on how to do that.
I think I want to point out really quickly, this AI assistant and kind of taking out of the context of rooms, no matter what kind of business you're in, I think this is one of the first areas that we've seen across any layer of any company, like having an AI sort of chat tool that leverages all of the troubleshooting that happens and generatively updating all of that troubleshooting guidance and embedding it into the application is something you can think about for your organization. Hey, where could I apply a tool like that? We're seeing a lot of our customers put AI to use almost immediately with things like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
We spoke about cloud and teleframe earlier, and we're excited to say that this is going to be coming very, very, very soon. Teams Rooms on Android will have cloud and teleframe, giving you the ability to frame the individuals in the room. This is exciting because the feedback that we'll be getting for cloud and teleframe on Windows is great. But the first question we get is, when's it coming to Android? So there is a large number of Teams Rooms of Android out there. Happy to say that the Teams Rooms on Android will be getting cloud and teleframe towards the end of this year. And so please keep an eye on the roadmap for that. Again, I'll also be clear that this is different from the facial recognition. The facial recognition, which is also coming around about the same time frame, is we're not launching facial recognition with the name tagging. Again, that still requires the intelligent camera. So again, if you're thinking about intelligent camera, specific hardware that can do multi-stream and identify the individuals in the room. The facial recognition is being able to identify individuals and placing them under the meeting room inside the video roster to begin with. So in teleframe, framing everyone, that's great. And then we've got the facial recognition, identifying the individual and letting you know that they're inside the room and putting them under the video roster. So those two features will be coming hand in hand very, very soon. We've had Teams Rooms on Windows has had support for digital signage for quite some time. Again, with everything that we do, the question gets asked, when is that coming to Android? So we should have this probably closer to the middle of November-ish. We'll have support for AppSpace and Zogo with digital signage. Like I said, it's already here on Windows today. We're welcome to see this coming to Teams Rooms on Android as well. And now this is probably the section that no one else has seen, and that's the Places roadmap. So Microsoft Places is getting its own feature at Integrate for its first time with a roadmap. The QR code, I'm sure many of you already got your phones out and are scanning the QR code. That is going to take you to the Places roadmap on our M365 roadmap page, and it will take you to all the features that we're about to talk about today. So the first one is with desk bookings, finding and booking a desk from a map. So this is, again, using the building data. This is currently rolling out to tenants today. This was actually part of the new admin experience, is getting the Places desk booking capability via maps. So using building data, building those, putting your maps inside of Microsoft Places, and then giving you the experience of identifying who's booked in which areas and so forth. So you can see where your colleagues are working inside. So you can filter that down based on building, location, obviously the floors, and being able to identify where your teammates are going to be. So you can now book from the actual map itself. And then second to that is booking where desks near your colleagues. So using AI to identify where your colleagues actually are sitting and servicing that up to you as well. So you go to book a new desk, you can find a location based on where your colleagues are sitting rather than booking it from the map. So it will say, yeah, your colleagues are sitting here and here and here. So a quick and easy way to find what building, what location your colleagues are going to be in. Again, similar to booking it from the map, but searching directly where your colleagues are.
I'm going to add something here. It's already delivered, so it's not a roadmap item, but one of the cool features of Places is the at nearby function.
Yeah.
We call it the cake function. Essentially, if I'm in a space with all of these people, I can say at nearby in Teams, and it'll know everybody that's sitting around me, and I could say, hey, there's cake in the break room, and anybody that wants to come get it.
The cake feature.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now that we have the ability to lock in the actual desk location, that at nearby function becomes a bit more precise and real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way that you're able to do this now is not just walking into a space and plugging into a desk and it'll automatically popping you and checking you in. But we also have the ability. We actually launched this about a month ago. Is Wi-Fi as well. So anytime that your device connects to Wi-Fi, you open up your laptop, connects to Wi-Fi, it can also check you in, not into the actual bookable desk, but it's able to identify when you're in the office. It will be able to identify when you're on the floor, but not at the actual desk location. So yeah, some great capabilities with obviously using Wi-Fi as well. The new admin experience, so manage your Places directory data in a new user-friendly admin experience is what we just announced yesterday. So those that have had some experience with Microsoft Places already, we hear your feedback. It has been a challenge in the past, quite heavy on the old PowerShell. We've even had some of our friendly Australian partners even write some PowerShell scripts for us to make that experience better. Well, it shouldn't be on them to be able to make the experience better, so it should be on us to make the admin experience better. So we just launched this yesterday. Definitely worth checking it out. It has rolled out, and you should have access to it today. Further to that, this really sums up what we're striving for. We've also got the Graph API that we also announced last week as well is available around about the same time as the admin portal. We wanted to serve up both for you. So Graph API was launched last week. Role-based access control, we're also bringing that to the forefront with role-based access control. It's available on Teams Admin Center, the Teams Pro management portal. We're also going to be bringing role-based access control to places as well, coming out very, very soon. And then, of course, directory onboarding with AI as well, onboarding places directory, and utilizing PowerShell scripts. So streamlining the process of being able to get more places imported into your admin center, which is really, really, really cool as well. Those are all rolling out at this stage. Anything newer than that, anything like in the pipeline, we can probably do an NDA session separately, but unfortunately, I can't go into too much NDA stuff with you all today, but there's plenty there coming. So thank you very much, everyone, for today. I do want to make sure that we do get to your questions. So if there are any questions, please raise your hand. We've got a roaming microphone walking around. Oh, we've already got a question down here, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
For the desk booking panels, is there any vendors out there that are supporting desk pools or places yet, and not the old traditional exchange booker resource?
Yeah, great question. There are a few that are in discussions with us at the moment. I can't actually say who they are, unfortunately. But yes, we are working currently with some several OEM partners that they're looking to get their solutions certified. So it's not the answer that you want, but come on, send your over.
Yeah. I think they could swing by their booths and probably see some things that might be applicable.
One of them might have a castle.
Yeah.
Just a question on places. So is it likely to get its own licensing SKU, or is it going to remain in the Teams premium SKU?
Oh, that's a interesting question, and I appreciate
$1 billion of questions.
We all understand the value that Places brings, and one of the hurdles is how you are required to have Teams Premium as that licensed SKU to be able to surface Places to an organization. But we are currently investigating ways to optimize that. So whether it will be through a different licensing model or whichever, we are currently exploring ways to make it easier for customers to be able to transact Places.
Yep. And another question on desk booking real quick. Do you think there'll be the functionality to anonymously book a desk? Say you've got an external visitor coming in that you want to reserve a desk for. Is that functionality something you're looking into potentially?
That's a good question. I would have to go back and have a chat to the engineering team to see what that might look like.
Yeah.
I think most cases desk bookings will still require you to have an in-company Active Directory identity for that space to be booked. So there'll be like I was coming to visit your office, it would still be under your name. James would have this booking, but in that actual fact, I would be the one working from that space. So I don't know if they're looking at bringing in guest occupancy, but that's not about a feature request. Yeah. Cool. Working from right to left. Did we miss anyone over here?
Sorry, no. Who else wants to turn?
Getting your steps in.
I just had a quick question about the cake feature. Is there a way to take people out of that? So if you've got a group around you, but there's somebody that you don't want to disturb because they're in an important, phone call or they're waiting for something that they can't actually, be included in that, or you want to surprise them with cake. Is there a way to do that in that system?
I think you'd have to have the user themselves opt out of the nearby feature. I don't know that you could say at nearby minus this person. I don't think.
So we kind of rely on presence. So if their presence is presenting or do not disturb, then that's on the user to set that so that they will not get notified or anything like that. But if they're just busy, then they do get a notification. But so we typically build everything around a reliable source of presence. They will get notified if they're not one of those two functions.
Yeah. Good question then.
Good build.
No cake for you.
No cake for you.
Two questions. So we have at the moment limited compatibility between Teams and Zoom. It would be great if everyone used one, but they don't. Is that extended? Is there extra functionality with Zoom meetings? And the second question is about security. So you've got voice ID and location.
Mm-hmm.
Is that information kept forever? If somebody's being stalked or something, can they have that deleted?
Great question. I'll start with the second one because it's probably the easiest. Security, an easy question? No way. So biometric data, you roll your voice, you roll your face. That information is stored technically in your Exchange mailbox. It's actually stored with inside Exchange, and you have the ability to export it and remove it whenever you want. There are cleanup tasks that happen organically behind the background. When someone leaves the business, that information is then purged and removed out of the corporate data as well. So security is first and foremost the priority for Microsoft before anything else. And so anytime that we handle PII or biometric data like that, we make sure that if you leave the business, you take that with you. You're out of the business. Your Active Directory account is disabled and gone. So is that biometric data as well. Coming back to your other question around Zoom and third-party platforms. So we have two ways that we handle that with Teams rooms. One is either through the basic experience, which we call direct guest join. So that allows you to forward a Zoom invitation to a Teams room, walk in and press that join button, and you get the basic Zoom experience on a more or less single display and presentation. Or the alternative, which is the more preferred path, is working with our partners such as PECSIP to be able to provide SIP calling. So again, same experience. You forward that invite to the room, you walk in, you join, and the SIP join experience is a more feature rich, and we actually have more and more capabilities coming to a PECSIP SIP join experience or SIP Connect. So support for dual screen, PowerPoint Live, and all that is available through that experience. So if you want to share a PowerPoint into a Zoom meeting, it's a lot more feature rich.
Got one of them out.
Last question. Thank you, timekeeper.
I've sat through 2 days of very interesting conversation here. Security was an interesting one, and yesterday's panel, they talked about Copilot and a lot of information being stored, and there's all of a sudden IT security risk. It's interesting how you said the biometrics is actually stored on Exchange account. So what happens if I use Copilot to write everything that I do? Does it sit with my OneShare, OneDrive, as in my account? Does it actually sit somewhere in cloud somewhere that everyone potentially have access to?
Yeah, so only you have access to that data. It's stored into your account, so only you have access to that data. No one else can take that data, especially biometric data. The other thing to note, just in parallel with that, so biometric data aside, ultra secure, only you have access to, attached to your identity, is anything that you do with Copilot. It can, obviously, Copilot definitely surfaces, security concerns when security policies haven't been employed correctly. So the way to think about that is that Copilot only will surface information for you that only you have access to. So, for example, our boss Ilya, he has access to way more information. Satya Nadella has access to way more information, but he only has access to information that his user account has access to. So we tie everything back to your identity and in what we call Microsoft Entra, used to be Azure Active Directory. So for example, if Mehryn is part of a top secret project that she's working on that I'm not meant to have access to, just because we're part of the same team, I don't have access to that because that's all safeguarded behind the role-based access control and the security that Mehryn has attached to her account. So that's the way that Copilot works, is it only gives you access to information that your personal account has access to. So that's how we safeguard that. Yes, that exposes some security risks for businesses that haven't employed good security practices, but that can all be resolved by doing some pre-discovery work before Copilot is employed across the organization.
I think it's important to point out too that there is a lot of discussion around shadow IT. Like if I don't deploy M365 Copilot to my organization, employees that are like, well, I'm just going to use ChatGPT instead. Okay, well then what are you going to upload your emails to ChatGPT and then ask it to format it for you? And then where do those emails go? Like that's outside of your tenant now. That's the part that gets a little scary. So you want to make sure you just consider those things. Know the tools that you're using and where the documents might be going when you're feeding it.
The one last point I'll say is that Copilot runs in every tenant. It's not Copilot across Microsoft and you all share Copilot. You have Copilot running inside just your M365 tenants. So that's not shared with other Copilot.
The beauty of Microsoft. It's like it's keeping all of your documents and everything in one single place. That's the beauty of having M365 Copilot, in my opinion, is that it's able to access everything that you already have as part of your identity. And you're not having to do anything extra of like, I'm going to load this section of my documents over here to this tool and have it work off of it. It's all already built in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate your time today.